What's up, everybody? I'm Craig Stokes, and you are now tuned into the show. Let's go. Hey, hey. Okay, I'm sorry. Got a little hype there. I'm sorry. But can you blame me? This is the place where I interview celebrities and other influential people that you hands down, you absolutely need to get to know. And today is no exception. I got a chance to sit down with my personal friend and mentor, Josh Shipp. Now, Josh is somebody that you need to get to know because he has literally spoken to over 2 million people live people. He has been named to Inc. magazine's 30 Under 30 list, an amazing accomplishment. He contributes for CNN, MTV, Fox, Good Morning America, 2020, New York Times, and the list goes on and on and on. He hosts his own show on A&E and Lifetime called Teen Trouble, which documents and highlights his journey and work with teens in crisis. He is somebody that completely understands how to deal with circumstances when shit happens. Okay, calm down, people. Calm down. Before I get any hate mail, that's his last name. All right? Check out how we kicked off his episode and warmed things up with my man, Josh Shipp.
Craig, what's going on, buddy? Looking sharp as always. Good to see you.
My man, Josh, thanks so much. You're far too kind. It's been a while, man.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to see you, though. Where in the world are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles. Monday night, we filmed a show that I contribute to. Yesterday, took my wife to Disneyland. She loves that place. That was amazing, and headed back home today.
I've been meaning to get out to Disneyland myself. Your wife is very lucky. Now, is that home for you?
I live in Northern California, the Bay Area, but I grew up in Oklahoma, where the weather is anywhere between 5 degrees and 105, so I'm very spoiled to live in the Bay Area now.
All right, Josh, your fans, they sent in a lot of questions. You have some of the most amazing fans, and I want to get to those questions. But before we do that, we got to kick off this episode and warm things up. We're going to do that with the game called This or That.
Okay.
All right? So I'm going to ask you a question. You can only choose one. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm getting scared, but come on.
You're scared. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the warm-up. Speaking or writing books?
Speaking.
Walmart or Target?
Target.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
What's more difficult, writing a book or hosting Teen Trouble?
Hosting Teen Trouble.
All right, working with teens or working with adults?
Working with teens.
What's the biggest mistake that public speakers make?
Think it's about them.
Speaking to high schools or speaking to colleges?
High schools.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
What's the most serious issue facing teens today?
Identity crisis.
Okay, what's your favorite quote?
Dreams don't come true, goals do.
All right, nice, nice. What's your favorite book?
Oh, the Bible.
All right, now finish this. Helping adults
understand teens and teens understand themselves. I better know that one. That's my tagline.
Oh, I almost got you with that one. This episode of the show is officially warmed up. But look, don't move a muscle, because when we come back, we've got more with Josh, and we're going to look at his new teen mentoring program called A Year of Awesomeness, which is a great complement to his previous book, The Teen's Guide to World Domination. We'll take a look at his new book called Jump Ship, and we'll get to all of your fan questions that you sent in. Stay tuned. All right, we're back with Josh Shipp. Josh, thanks for being here again. Hey, it is time to get into your fan questions. Now, Kathleen wants to know, Josh, how do you get your hair to be so Chia Pet-like awesome?
Oh, man. You know, I'm actually just lucky that my hair is somewhat cool. It stands up regardless. So I use this stuff that's literally called hair glue. So it's nice, I guess. You know, if you were a kid that used to eat paste as a kid, then while you're doing your hair, if you get hungry, you at least have a snack.
Hey, Josh, you've done everything from CNN,
that's right,
MTV. You've been selected as Inc. magazine's 30 Under 30. You've toured with Bill Cosby, and you're only 19. Come on, man. All right, we both know a lot about one of those things, but which one of your accomplishments are you most proud to be associated with?
Well, to be completely honest with you, the accomplishment I'm most proud of is being a dad and a husband. You know, and I'm not just saying that to try to be cheesy or whatever, but But because of the sort of background I come from, I didn't have a family, in and
Right.
out of foster care, didn't know my parents, uh, that sort of thing. Uh, that has been one of the hardest things for me, to be able to, sort of not repeat that cycle of destructive behavior from my own past. And it's the thing I'm most proud of. Now, as far as what I'm most proud of professionally, I would say probably um, trying to duplicate myself, meaning, now I train other speakers through Youth Speaker University,
Yep. Yep.
and do other things like that. And that is, and Craig, you were part of that program.
Absolutely.
And that's so meaningful to me, because it gives me an opportunity to say, not only I care so much about students, I don't think my message is the only one that they need to hear. I want to train and mentor and help other people that want to go out there and give a positive message to young people as well.
The popular question is, all your fans want to know, Josh, when is Teen Trouble coming back?
Oh, man. Teen Trouble was an absolute pleasure to do. And, I worked with 8 kids, and it's cool to report now, some year later or whatever, 6 of the 8 kids are still sober, doing well, thriving. It's like amazing. I am taking a break from Teen Trouble for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
But I'll be continuing to put out products, programs, and have some other television stuff up my sleeves in the future.
Josh, I'm constantly amazed. You're staying so busy. You've written 2 books now. You've started 2 television shows on 2 different networks. And now you're launching a 52-week program called A Year of Awesomeness.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. How did that come about?
Yeah, this is probably the best product or program or thing I've put together to date. My frustration, particularly as a speaker, when I'd go and speak at a schools, it's like these kids would come up to me and be like, "That was amazing," and you've changed my life, or blah blah blah, and then it's like I'm gone and I don't have the opportunity to keep back in touch with them.
Right.
So, what A Year of Awesomeness is an answer to that, and an answer to all those parents that would come up to me and be like, "Man, I wish you were my kid's mentor," or "I wish you could meet my kid," or "I wish like my kid could talk to you every week." So A Year of Awesomeness is my online mentoring program for teens. And what it is it's everything your kid needs to learn, but probably doesn't learn from in school. And because they're a teenager, they might not necessarily listen to you as the mom or dad about. So they sign up. It's super, super affordable. We scholarship kids into the program that don't have the financial means to purchase it, or their parents don't. And each and every week, the kids get an entertaining and practical video from me on a life skill that they need to master, such as, how to choose the right friends, how to gain your parents' trust, how to apologize when you inevitably screw up, all those sorts of things we need to learn in life, but sometimes we don't.
In your new book, Jump Ship, and Josh, man, look, I got to tell you, your last name is so perfect to play off of. And quite frankly, it's unfair, all right? But it encourages people to take that jump, to make that leap of faith, and to turn their passion into a profession. Did you write that book from your own experiences, from your own perspective?
Yeah, so Jump Ship came out of I always write a book with one person in mind.
Okay.
And so for The Teen's Guide to World Domination, really I secretly wrote that for my godson Isaiah. He's 15 years old. He's a great kid, but he struggles sometimes. He's trying to figure it out. And Jump Ship I wrote for a buddy of mine who was my college roommate named Jeff. Jeff is a guy who's just as talented as anyone I've ever met, just as smart, just as capable, all that. But for the longest time was sort of stuck in these dead-end jobs and felt just so stuck and so stagnant, even though he had these passions and talent to actually make those passions happen. So that's what Jump Ship is about, is how do you take these things that you like, that you're naturally good at, and how do you figure out a way to turn that into your dream job? And the truth is that it's not easy, but it is possible.
Right.
Anything in life that's actually meaningful, it's not easy, but it is possible. And really what it requires is you going through a certain sequence of baby steps so you can actually earn that. Some people think, I'm here today and I want to be, if I'm at A today, I want to be at Z tomorrow. Z is like my dream, my big thing. But the only way you get to Z is by going to B and then C and then D and then E. That's not the fun part, but that is the part that success requires.
Absolutely, man. I really agree with that 100%. And one of your fans, Phyllis. What's up, Phyllis? Thanks for sending in your question. She says, I'm reading your teen guide right now. I'm almost finished and I've been watching your videos. I just want to know, how did you start the life you have now specifically? I want to do exactly what you do, be a speaking guru.
Well, anytime you sort of admire someone's career, whether it be mine or someone else's or Craig's or whoever, it's really important not to study the end result, meaning where I'm at now, but it's important to study where I started, which was 10 years ago when there were no TV shows, no fans, no books. My hair wasn't even, yeah, my hair wasn't even this nice. It's like none of that. It does really take 10 years to become an overnight success. So for me, I grew up in Oklahoma, had this sort of crappy childhood, but I was also a class clown as a way to sort of, deal with these emotions that I wasn't dealing with. And so that combination of things, I just started talking in class, and at first that was a big disruption, and I was getting kicked out of class for it. But then a teacher got me involved in student leadership, and I became a leader in my school. And then I was just talking literally like at the local middle school down the street in Oklahoma, talking at the elementary school down the street in Oklahoma. And so, I sort of really earned my way to what you see today through 10 years of like talking to 10 people, not 10,000, 10 years of no one caring who I am, of dozens of people saying, we're not going to publish your book. The truth is, if you want to accomplish your big dream, you need to start doing a crappy version of it today. You need to start doing a small-scale version of it today, because no one's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I think you might be good at blank. What people do is say, hey, you're at least trying. You're doing a decent version of it. Maybe we could partner and I could help you do something even a little bit better and a little bit bigger.
You share a lot of advice, man, and I know it's got to be draining at some point. What resources do you use to make sure you're still growing and learning, and who mentors Josh Shipp?
Yeah. I think all of us need mentors in our life. That's not just something that I want to talk about or that I want to sell, but it's something that I live because it's been so meaningful to me. So for me, I have about 3 different mentors in my life, and they're based upon areas that are important to me. So being a good dad and a husband is really important to me.
Right.
So a guy named Ken Van Meter is a mentor to me there. Being sharp in building out my brand and stuff, that's important to me. So I look to Jamie Oliver and a guy named Kirk to help mentor me there. So anything in my life that I'm wanting to learn in, or that I just can kind of swallow my pride and say, I don't know it all here, I'm not good at this. I just try to seek out someone who's mastered it. And they don't need to be someone well known, but someone who's just mastered it, who's good with their money or good with their health or good with whatever, and say, please tell me what you did poorly and what you learned from it, and tell me what you did well that you would suggest I repeat. We can't be arrogant and think that we know it all, and sometimes we think asking for help means that we're weak, but really it means that you're wise, and that you're wise enough to put your ego aside and seek out that advice.
Okay, Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot, give you an opportunity to mentor somebody right now. One of your fans, Serena, she wrote in and she said, when somebody tells you you're worthless and they remind you about it every single day, and they're your parents, what's the best way not to let those insults get to you? What do you tell her?
Yeah, that's really, really tough, first of all. And I mean, it's terrible for someone to have to be facing that, particularly from the folks who should be the most encouraging. My advice would be, number one, realize it's not about you. What we don't talk out, we act out as human beings. What we don't talk out, we act out. Meaning, look, I've said I love my wife so much, but in moments of frustration or things that aren't her fault, I have said hurtful, mean things to her, and I deeply regret that. And it wasn't even something I was dealing with her. It was something going on at work or something else. And so I don't I I don't believe that your parents actually think you're worthless, actually think that you're a failure or a screw up. Things are going on in their own life that they're not dealing with, and so even if they never say I'm sorry, I would encourage you to forgive them, so you can release them. So you can release that sort of burden that they're putting on you. That would be my first piece of advice. You're going to, at 17 years old or 15, I don't know how old you are, you're going to actually have to step up and act like the adult, because your parents aren't. And then secondly, I hope you probably have 2 or 3 people in your life. They may be friends, they may be an aunt or an uncle who do believe in you and who do encourage you and who are on your side. You need to be intentionally spending more time with those people. All of us have sort of people in our life that discourage us or this and that, including myself. I have people that are kind of negative voices and this and that. You can't, I wish we could ship all those people to an island where they could just depress one another, but that's not possible. So you're going to always have those voices in your life, but what matters is that here's a key word, you intentionally, weekly, spend time with those people that encourage you, that uplift you, that lovingly hold you accountable, those sorts of things. You need more of those sorts of influences in your life, because your parents are your parents, and you just can't get rid of them.
Josh, this has been so much fun. I just hate that we couldn't get to all the fan questions and talk about everything you do. But if people want to find out more information about your speaking, your TV shows, your books, A Year of Awesomeness, how can they get more information?
Yeah, so my website is Josh Shipp. That's Ship with 2 P's. I'm not cursing at you. JoshShipp.com. You can go there. Year of Awesomeness information is there. Stuff about my book, stuff about Youth Speaker University, all of that. And yeah, man, I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. And
anytime.
I would just remind people that regardless of who you are or where you're at, you're going to have failures. You're going to make mistakes. Those sorts of things. Just remember, what's bad for our ego is typically good for our character. And as long as you don't let those bad things, those mistakes, those failures define you, but, even in that moment of pain, you try to say, there's got to be one little thing I can learn from this. There's got to be something I can learn from it. Maybe I need better boundaries. Maybe I need to watch my temper. Maybe I need to choose different friends. Maybe I need to make different choices. But in that moment of pain, in that moment of failure, how you respond to that is what's going to determine your success. Not the good times, not the Disneyland, not all the happiness and the joy and this and that. But it's those moments of failure, and we all have them. How you respond to that, that's what's going to matter.
Wow. Awesome interview, full of great advice. I can't thank Josh enough for being a guest on the show. Now, if you have somebody that you want to nominate and recommend to be a guest on the show, it's very easy. Just go online to theshow.craigstokes.com. And if you want to ask me a question, that's also easy. I'm everywhere online at Craig Stokes, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So easy to find me. Until next time, I'm Craig Stokes, reminding you to wake up and live your dreams. Peace.